but they forget me. You know, the cutest fucking 8-year-old in the universe.
After Macaulay Culkin became the biggest child star in the world and was the first to pull in $1 million for a film, and then pull in another whopping $5 million for Home Alone 2.
Buzz, your girlfriend. Woof.
After Macaulay Culkin would wow the world with his charisma on Letterman, Arsenio Hall, and presenting at the People's Choice Awards,
which has given me an opportunity to welcome you to the 17th annual People's Choice Awards, a show that's been around longer than I have.
After Macaulay would come to the defense of his childhood friend, Michael Jackson.
You know, they go, oh, you slept in the same bedroom as him. It's like, I don't think you understand. Michael Jackson's bedroom is 2 stories. And it has like 3 bathrooms and this and that.
After Macaulay Culkin would decide to walk away from Hollywood at the age of just 14. Despite Macaulay Culkin's best efforts to stay out of the spotlight during his adult years, he has remained in the minds and the hearts of people all over the world, especially during Christmas time when it's impossible not to catch Home Alone playing on one television station or another. At the age of 12, Macaulay famously stated that he had made enough money that he would never have to work again. Although Macaulay initially decided to quit show business, he appears from time to time in films and commercials.
Can I help you?
It's me, Macaulay.
He's a lot bigger in real life.
Macaulay, or Mac as he goes by these days, has also popped up in some unconventional ways. There was the time Ryan Gosling wore a t-shirt of Macaulay, which then in turn he wore on his own shirt. And then Ryan wore a shirt of him wearing the shirt. It was really weird. There have been death hoaxes in his name and tabloids printed about an addiction to heroin. He started multiple artistic bands and projects in recent years, and then there was his viral video from 2 years ago titled Just Me in the House by Myself, which was weird.
I still have nightmares about like this bald weirdo dude chasing me around, talking like Yosemite Sam. I'm gonna pull your fingernails out. I'm gonna get you, you little scam. They don't even curse. Calling me like louse and shit like that.
The top comment on that video is actually, wow, he would make an awesome Joker. What's going on, guys? My name's Michael McCrudden, documenting the life and career of Macaulay Culkin after his initial rise to fame, here for you on After They're Famous, and this is an updated video. Now, there are plenty of other child actors we could feature in this series. How about Kevin McAllister's brother Buzz? Or how about other child stars like the kid from Jerry Maguire or the Olsen twins? Let me know who you want me to document next in the comments down below. Now let's get into this updated video. Macaulay Carson Culkin was born on August 26, 1980 in New York City, New York, to Christopher Kit Culkin and Patricia Brentrup. His parents never married, but they sure like making babies, with Macaulay being the third of 7 children living in a seedy Manhattan 2-bedroom apartment. The family had little to no money. His mother worked as a telephone operator, and his father was a caretaker at a local church. Now, his dad's story is a pretty interesting one. He himself had been a child actor, and his mom, well, she was a stage actress. As a teenager, he made it to Broadway, but his acting career never came to fruition as an adult. His sister Bonnie Bedelia had better luck, playing Bruce Willis's love interest in Die Hard, and she's still a working actress today. Now, Kit pushed his firstborn Shane into acting at Manhattan's Ensemble Studio Theater. Young Macaulay was just tagging along when he got the eye of casting directors and landed a stage role in After School Special. From there, he was enrolled in a professional acting school, and he later trained in ballet. He appeared in several stage performances before he moved on to movies. His first was in a film titled Rocket Gibraltar. Gibraltar, yeah, that's it.
They cast the boat into the water. They built huge bonfires on the beach. Then the men would light the tips of their arrows in the bonfires and shoot them in the ship.
Next up, he starred as Farrah Fawcett's son in See You in the Morning, and then he landed the role of John Candy's nephew in Uncle Buck. This was directed by John Hughes.
Where's your wife?
Don't have one.
How come?
It's a long story.
Do you have kids?
No, I don't.
How come?
It's an even longer story.
Are you my dad's brother?
What's your record for consecutive questions asked?
38.
For that role, Macaulay was paid $40,000, and John Hughes was so impressed by Culkin's performance that he wrote a screenplay specifically for him titled Home Alone.
Other than that, I'm in good shape.
Young Macaulay was paid $200,000 for his work. Home Alone had a production budget of $19 million and went on to become the highest grossing film of 1990. It earned $500 million in total at the box office and was the biggest moneymaker since E.T. and Star Wars. Although money was coming in, Macaulay's dad had stepped into the role of manager and was very resistant to spend his family's new fortune. During this time, Macaulay still didn't have his own bed or bedroom. He would sleep on the couch with his brother. It was during this time that he was first introduced introduced to Michael Jackson, who had plenty of beds.
He kind of recognized me because it was after I'd done Uncle Buck, and so he kind of mentioned something, and then he calls me up kind of out of the blue, and it's kind of just this weird random thing, and he was like, why don't you come over to my house?
The two would spend time together going to Disneyland and playing video games. They worked together, with Macaulay appearing in Michael Jackson's video for Black and White. And yes, of course, there were sleepovers.
When I slept in his bedroom, yeah, but you have to understand the whole scenario. And the thing is with Michael, is that he's not very good at explaining himself, and he never really has been.
For Macaulay's next role in My Girl, he became the first child star to command a salary of $1 million. After the financial success of Home Alone, Macaulay got to work on Home Alone 2, but this time his father had some demands, which included he be paid $5 million and earn a percentage of the gross. He also insisted that Fox Studios cast Macaulay in another film that they had in production. It was titled The Good Son. Kid Culkin got his way on all these demands, and Home Alone 2 was another massive success.
Excuse me, where's the lobby?
Down the hall and grab him by the pussy.
Thanks.
By now, his family had moved into 2 sprawling apartments in Manhattan's cultured Upper West Side. And his parents, well, they were rolling in dough because they were collecting 15% in management fees. Macaulay's payment was bumped up to $8 million for his next 2 films, getting even with Dad and Richie Rich. But unfortunately, these weren't as hot at the box office, and executives were starting to feel that people had had their fill of Macaulay's charisma. During this time, Macaulay also pleaded with his father for some time off. He wanted to have a summer vacation like any other kid his age, but his dad knew that they had to keep going while the going was good. Macaulay was also starting to get a bit of a bad boy reputation, and there were stories of him throwing cigarette and alcohol-fueled parties when he was clearly underage.
Yeah, I'm a kid, I had a beer, you know, I smoked a joint. Big deal, you know what I'm saying?
In 1994, at the age of 14, Macaulay was worth an estimated $17 million and decided that he wanted to quit acting, and just like that, things would start to fall apart. His mother kicked his father out of their apartment, so he moved into another one in the building. In 1995, the 2 parents went to court over custody of their children and control of Macaulay's massive wealth. And also, they had to split apart that 15% they've raked in. A lot of money. Now, I'm not entirely sure how this all played out. The information might not be public, but Macaulay and his family have had no contact with their father ever since.
Never been to jail or rehab, and my parents didn't steal all my money and all those other child star cliches.
So how many lies have you read about you in tabloids?
Oh, millions. So yeah, I mean, forget about it.
With Macaulay quitting acting, he made attempts to blend in as a normal youth. He attended a private high school in Manhattan, but dropped out in his senior year. In 1998, he became engaged and married to Rachel Miner. She too had grown up as a child actress and is still working today. That same year, Macaulay became the godfather to Michael Jackson's daughter Paris. And while researching this video, I also read rumors that they believe that Blanket is actually Macaulay's kid, like his DNA. I can't confirm that though, just really weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
In 1998, there was a fire in the apartment home to Macaulay's mother and 3 of his younger siblings. 4 people were killed in the fire, and his mother was sued for $80 million. Now, I have no idea how that played out. I don't know if it's public information, but yeah. And then more devastating news would come when Macaulay and his wife would call it quits after 2 years.
Never marry your childhood sweetheart.
In 2002, he began dating Mila Kunis, who at the time was working on That 70s Show. He also began to reappear on films as an actor. First up was Party Monster, the true life story of the rise and fall of a young club promoter.
I want you to teach me how to be fabulous. Don't dream it, be it. Fabulous! So it should come as no surprise that I ended up in New York City.
There were more traditional gigs like an appearance on Will and Grace. Then in 2004, he was arrested in Oklahoma City for possession of marijuana. Also prescription drugs with no prescription, including Xanax and Klonopin, both used for panic disorders. He was briefly jailed and received 3 one-year suspended prison terms and was ordered to pay $540 in fees. In 2005, Macaulay defended Michael Jackson at the pop star's molestation trial. He called the allegations against Jackson absolutely ridiculous. In 2006, he published a semi-autobiographical novel titled Junior, and in an interview he stated, "I really disassociated myself from Macaulay Culkin mentally. Like if someone actually calls out that name on the street, I don't turn my head. Literally, when I was 14 and I quit, I said I'm never doing that again. Say whatever you want about me, that I'm crazy, that I'm an alcoholic, call me a drug addict, I don't give a shit anymore. That's not me anymore, that's for you, it's yours, go ahead, have fun. More tragedy would strike in 2008 when his younger sister Dakota was killed in a car accident. The next year, he would lose his lifelong friend Michael Jackson and attended his funeral. Macaulay continued to work, appearing in commercials, he appeared in WWE Raw, and in some various online series. His relationship ended with Mila Kunis in 2011. Following this, there were tabloids claiming that he'd become addicted to heroin. Rumors he shot down, stating, "I was not pounding $6 grand of heroin every month or whatever. The thing that bugged me was tabloids wrapping it all in this weird guise of concern. No, you're trying to shift papers." Around this time, there was also an internet death hoax made in his name. Macaulay had began making movies as an independent artist. There was his video in which he simply ate a piece of pizza. Now I rolled a clip from that in the intro, but there's a reason it might seem familiar. He began working heavily with the band members of Moldy Peaches, and they filmed an entire movie on an iPhone titled The Wrong Ferrari. He split his time between LA, New York, and found refuge in France where no one knew that he was the kid from Home Alone. Macaulay made global headlines in 2015 with his cover band Pizza Underground, which toured the US. And of course, there was his viral video in which he played himself as an Uber driver still recovering from the torment of Harry and Marv.
It's Christmas time. It's fucking Christmas. And your whole family, right, goes on vacation. Whole family, and they forget their 8-year-old fucking son. Their 8-year-old son.
More recently, Macaulay has been looking pretty happy and healthy. He's also got a new girlfriend in Brenda Song, who also grew up as a child actress. So clearly he has a type. As for the rest of the story, well, I think that's pretty much it because this is After They Are Famous. My name is Michael McCredden and I hope you enjoyed this updated video. As I said in the intro, there are plenty of other child stars we could document, but I rely on you guys to suggest who to do next, so let me know in the comments down below. You can also find me on Instagram or Twitter at McCreddenM. I'll see you guys in another video.
Boom!